Reddit Martian back with another tip-top video for you. r/AskReddit. What's the dumbest thing you've ever done solely because you were too awkward to do the normal thing? The first time I took a bus in a new city, I pulled the stop request cord at the wrong stop. Instead of just being a normal person and telling the driver that I didn't mean to do that, I got off the bus and walked for an hour in the rain. This is the best one. I would probably do that. Back in primary school I had a crush on a girl. Her younger brother was kind of a friend, so I'd hang out at their place every once in a while. Thinking it would be weird to ask if I could hang out, I'd go for a run past their place and hope they'd notice me and invite me in. It worked, but most times I had to turn back and run past at least 4 times before they'd invite me in. I ran into a past co-worker at a bus depot. Had nothing really to talk about and it got awkward fast. A bus came and the guy said, "This is me." It was the one I was waiting for too, but I didn't get on cause what the hell would happen if I did? Made it worse as he got on I said, "Drive safe." Accidentally locked myself on the roof of my office's parking garage. It was my first week there and I didn't know that doors closed behind you and locked. I'd left my access badge on my desk. Rather than call for help and be that guy, I climbed down the side of the parking garage. You went from security breach to OSHA violation really quick. Allowed my neighbor to call me the wrong name for 7 years because I never corrected him the first time he said it wrong. Conversely, I never used my neighbor's name because I forgot it the first time he told me and was too embarrassed to ask him. He always greeted me and my dog by name. We were neighbors for 3 years. I was so happy when he moved. Wrote out a long response to this post, then deleted it cause I felt stupid. I do this so often. I was at a club once. The DJ was taking requests. To make a request you had to fill out a slip of paper and give it to him. Anyways, I do this, walk over and hand it to him and he was like, "Alright man, nice," and held out his hand. For some reason he wants to hold hands and held his hand for like 10 seconds. Fingers interlaced even, and just looked at each other the whole time. Then it hit me that he wanted a high five and I got super embarrassed. I'm really bad at conversations with strangers when I can't hear them well. Person, where's the washroom? Me. Pardon. Person, where's the washroom? Me. Haha yeah. Person. No. Do you know where the washroom is? Me. Oh haha. Person. Never mind. Spent an entire Thanksgiving weekend pretending I understood Korean because I felt too awkward to correct my friend's Korean mom who assumed I was Korean too. My friend's mom rolled my hand up in the window of the car while I was in the back seat. It hurt really bad but I was too awkward to say anything, so I rode for about 10 minutes with half of my little hand squashed and hanging out the rolled up window. I think eventually I said or something to alert her to the situation. I would laugh so hard if I was passing your car and saw that. Half a hand squished in a window and a kid sitting there pretending like nothing happened. I rode my bike to college one time and had no bike lock. So I tied it up with an extra shoestring I had, hoping any passerby would see it was locked without investigating too closely. As I'm leaving class I see a couple students standing by my bike taking pictures of my lock job and laughing. I sat like 50 yards away in shame waiting for them to leave before I retrieved my bike and left. When I was in high school, I had a huge crush on a girl who worked at the drive-thru of my bank. I would go to her different branch, withdraw some cash and then deposit it at her branch's drive-thru in hopes she was working. It wasn't until much later that I realized she could more than likely see I had made a withdrawal for the exact amount I was depositing just minutes before. In French class in high school everyone was talking over the teacher and she just couldn't get control over the classroom and she was getting increasingly frustrated, and so was I. Just a whole room full of swirling talk and stuff. I wanted to tell everyone to quiet down, but for some reason it got ducked up inside my brain and I barked like a dog. Or, sort of like a dog. Just a deep guttural noise. Everyone stared at me. The teacher asked if I was okay. I was so embarrassed. Bonus points. I did this on 2 occasions. I don't know what's wrong with me. When I was a freshman in college, I saw a production of some Shakespeare play and developed an instant crush on the lead actor. I saw him at lunch the day after the play, and my friends urged awkward, shy, 17-year-old me to approach him and say how much I enjoyed his performance in the show. I'm not sure if they really thought this very attractive senior was going to have any interest in me, but apparently I got talked into it, because I marched over to his table and he and all his friends fell silent as I approached. I stood there trying to think of what to say. Now that I was actually there, I opened my mouth and said, "Very nice." I was a teenage girl, but I said it like Borat. Unfortunately, he had no idea what I was talking about and didn't say anything. So I tried again. "You were great last night," I said, as soon as the words left my mouth. His friends lost their shirt and started whistling and laughing. I was mortified and slunk back to my table awkwardly. I swear I still cringe about this, almost 30 years later. Was staying the night at a friend's house when I was around 10-11. Had to take a shirt and when I was all done there was no toilet paper. An absolute nightmare. I checked under the sink, in the cabinet, everywhere. My friend was outside and the only people in the house with me were his mom and his older sister that I had a crush on. So I certainly couldn't shout out that I needed more toilet paper. So I weighed my options. Towels or cotton balls. So I wiped my butt with cotton balls. Last weekend I was eating Starburst and a lady approached me so naturally, I put a wrapped Starburst in my mouth. When I was younger I had a friend who lied a lot. I went to her house one day and she had those little colorful gobstoppers unwrapped all over the floor of her room. I asked her if I could have one and she kept insisting they were gobstoppers but wouldn't tell me what they were. I figured she was lying and when she left the room momentarily I popped a few in my mouth. Turns out they weren't gobstoppers. They were plastic balls from a game. I kept them in my mouth for probably 45 minutes until she left the room again just so she wouldn't see her. Don't eat those. They are not food, you. Internally, she just doesn't want me to eat her precious floor candy. I'll show her. Sometimes when I'm alone in a strange place and don't know whether I should go sit somewhere by myself or join a group of strangers, I visit a bathroom, sit in the stall for a while, go outside, visit another bathroom and repeat until a friend shows up or class begins. Now that I think of it, it is hilariously awkward. I hugged a job interviewer when I was 16. The interview had concluded and she opened the door and stretched out her arm towards me to indicate I was free to go. For some reason I saw it as an invitation to hug and we had the most awkward one-armed hug back pat ever. Saw a colleague I actually like in the supermarket. Did not want to stop and chat and engage in weird small talk in a shop. I proceeded to awkwardly walk backwards when I spotted her in the aisle and whispered slightly loud to my significant other at the time, "I hope she can't see me." She turned her face, looked at me and said, "I can see and I can hear you." I was walking in the hallway in middle school and dropped my binder as cool kids the grade below me were walking by. Instead of just picking it up I decided it would be cooler to barely even care and kick my binder across the hall towards the classroom I was going in. It instead spread its contents everywhere. Cool kids in the grade below? Extra cringe. I bought tweezers to groom my eyebrows. I'm a man. When my female friend saw them in the bag in my back seat, she asked whose they were and I was too embarrassed to say they were mine, so I said I don't know. Somebody must have left them. And she took them for herself and I had to buy new ones. A friend gave me a slice of Velveeta cheese at her house. I tried it and thought it was gross, so I smashed it in between the couch cushions to get rid of it instead of telling her I didn't like it and throwing it away like a normal person. The garbage can is too good for Velveeta. You did the right thing. Do you know what you are? That's right, you're a champ. Thanks for watching. Like and share if you enjoyed. Don't forget the bell. Subscribe for more videos. See you soon, Martians.